Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and fans of Glitchtale, and welcome to another episode of the Mugs and Mikes podcast. I am your host for today, GameCubeDude. Now, I probably could do this alone, but I don't really feel like it. So I have two co-hosts with me. I have HackGame.
Hello, everybody.
I have Nomad.
Oh, come on. You know I'm the glue that holds this podcast together. You couldn't do this without me.
Yeah, you wish. And our special guest, our first guest on the podcast, Camila Cuevas.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't know if I said your name right, but you don't seem to have a problem with it.
Not at all. It's alright. Just call me Cammy.
Okay, all right, we'll do that. So, the topic we're going to be talking about today is Fandoms and Hatedoms.
Mainly Undertale.
What's a Hatem?
It's the opposite of fandom. It's a hate bandwagon.
Oh, the classic.
Yeah.
So, Fandoms, Hatedoms. Everybody here has dealt with it. Everybody on the internet, you've been on here long enough, you've dealt with a fandom or a Hatedom before, right? Am I not wrong?
Oh, trust me, you are right.
Mm-hmm. Now, for three of us here, Undertale is probably the best example because, oh, Lord knows.
Any fandom goes through the same problem, I'm assuming.
That's true. Pretty much, and it really depends upon the size. It happens regardless, but people know about it when it gets to a certain size. Like the oldest example I can think of is Five Nights at Freddy's. We all remember how much its fandom blew that game out of proportion. They said it was like the scariest game ever made. It was like Satan himself wishes he could make something this scary, when in reality, it's not that bad. Like, once you get the pattern down, it's not all that scary. Like, I'll admit, I was like ready to poop myself. I was so scared when I first saw the game. Then later on, I just realized, it's not that scary. I still love Five Nights at Freddy's regardless.
I remember that first video you made on Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I did exaggerate a little bit in that video just for the sake of entertainment. Now, that was back when I was still pretty new to the gaming stuff, but it was still pretty entertaining for what it was worth.
Are you going to speak for yourself? I still pull my pants. Then again, I get scared very easily.
Same.
Oh, really? Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I do too. Like, I doubt you've ever seen my Bendy and the Ink Machine video, but essentially, I had to force myself to play that game. Somebody said, you should try Bendy and the Ink Machine. And I'm like, okay, horror games. Those are a pretty big thing on YouTube right now. I'll try it. I go in there, and I'm about ready to leave my seat. I'm so terrified. I was never big into horror games. I never wanted to play them for myself. I'd rather see someone else play them for me, so I could be prepared for the jump scares and stuff.
Scared by cardboard.
But you know what? I think Bendy and the Ink Machine definitely helped me break my barrier a little bit. I would consider myself more open to playing horror games nowadays.
It's more practice.
Well, I mean, practice as in try not to die of heart attack, you know? I think that's the kind of practice I mean. All right, so anyway, back to Fandoms and Hatedoms. So, Nomad, you said you had a different example rather than Undertale. You want to talk about yours first, and then we can get into like the thing that people came here to hear about.
Yes, Overwatch.
Yeah. Camila, have you ever played Overwatch?
Oh, yes, I have. I have it.
Yeah, that game can be very, very toxic.
What's the worst example you've seen of the fandom?
The fandom? I'd say in game, it was this one guy. It was competitive, and trust me, I regret every single second I've played of competitive.
Competitive. I already don't like this.
I was playing McCree. He's my main. He's what I do best at. And some guy was yelling at me saying, "Oh no, we need a third healer. Switch." I don't remember if it was Zenyatta or Mercy who was yelling at me to switch to. And I said, "No, this is what I'm good at. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm best at." And he said, well, I'm just gonna leave the game if you're not gonna pick meta picks, because that's what competitive is all about, being meta and shit.
Oh my god. This is one thing that drove me nuts about Overwatch. Nobody gets along in that game. They are screaming at each other to change characters. They're saying if you don't play Mercy, I'm going to dox you, ban you from the servers. Nobody's nice in Overwatch, and I don't like it.
That doesn't happen anymore because Mercy died. But I guess with other characters, yes, it does.
Oh my god. See, this is another thing. The healers are always fighting with the other people. Like, why didn't you protect me? We could have won if you had protected your healer. There was a Roadhog and a Genji flying around me, and I was Zenyatta. What did you want me to do?
But my second hero I play the main as is Lucio. He's just so much fun to play as. I love being a dick and pushing people off the edges.
Credit where credit's due. Lucio is a fun character, although he couldn't save Overwatch for me.
Nope, same with McCree.
All right, so what is the best example you have in terms of a hatedom for Overwatch?
This was back when I'll be honest, about this time last year I was an Overwatch fanboy, and this was the one server I used to be on, but then I left. I mentioned how, oh yeah, I enjoy Overwatch, and this guy's saying, why are you playing Overwatch? It's trash, it's overrated, you know, you could be playing better games like PUBG and all that shit.
Oh god.
Trust me, that lasted at least an hour.
Oh my god.
PUBG, just...
I don't have enough, my memory's not fresh enough to recount the whole thing, but it was not pretty.
So he essentially just wails on you for liking Overwatch?
Yes.
Why do people like that have to exist? So, I guess now we'll move into what everybody came here to hear about. The Undertale fandom!
Oh.
The Undertale fandom, it's sort of died down over the past few years, so the toxic side of the fandom's basically gone, so it's a better time than ever to get into Undertale.
That's true. I would say Undertale was at, its reputation was at its worst during the prime of its mainstream time. When everybody was, when like Let's Players were playing the game on YouTube and they decided to do their own things, people would like scream at them saying like, no, you have to do pacifist. Like, even my first playthrough of the game, I killed Toriel by mistake, and people were not happy with me. The video got plenty of dislikes. People were screaming at me in the comments like, go back to Toriel or I will hang you from the ceiling from your fucking ears. And
wow.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, there was probably only one person screaming like that, but it's like, Jesus Christ, calm down, I'll go back. So I start replaying the game, and it was a good game for what it was, but the problem for me was I never got to properly finish the game because my computer just did not want to do its job at that time. It got viruses, it lagged. Everything imaginable went wrong when I was trying to make a playthrough of this game. So I'm just like, screw it. I'm not bothering with this game anymore. This computer is trash. I'm just gonna watch somebody else finish it. And that is easily the biggest regret I ever had in my entire time on YouTube, is not finishing Undertale for myself, because it's such a good game. I wish I could go back in time, slap myself on the back of the head, like, no, stick it out, be a man, power through it. You have to experience this for yourself, but it's too late for me now.
I'm sorry.
I'll be honest, I somehow managed to avoid Undertale 4 the first year after it came out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Then, okay, finish.
I have no idea how I was able to do that, considering it was seemingly everywhere, but I did it somehow.
Then one day, I gift it to you on Steam. Then you say, oh, I've made it to the part where you fight Papyrus. And then, like, a few days later, you tell me, oh, I uninstalled the game. I'm just like, bruh. I gave you that as a present. That was your Christmas present. And you uninstalled it?
You wanted me to play Gmod on stream. How could I?
Fuck Gmod. Undertale is better.
Oh my god.
You wanted Gmod content. Well,
I mean, nobody said you had to be there.
Yes, you did.
You know what? What it comes down to is I hate your computer. I hate your computer more than your decision.
Trust me, I hate it way more than you do.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I believe you. All right, so Camila, tell us, how did you originally get into Undertale?
Oh boy. Well, I was...
You don't sound like you're going to be happy to tell this story.
No, I am. I'm just... No, it's okay. It's okay. I was streaming something else entirely. I mean, I used to make freaking stick figure animations back in the day.
My favorite.
So like I was just so I was just streaming some animation of that, and at the time I asked people to put music in my stream. I have a thing in my Twitch that allows everyone who's watching it like add a command, and they can just add a YouTube link and add music to it. So they started to add Undertale music to it. And I'm like, of course I've never heard of the game or anything, but I really like the music. So I told them to just keep adding music from that game. And I kind of asked what it was, because I never judge a game by the looks of it or anything. If anything, I want to try it out myself and then have an opinion on it. But if there's one thing that has always been true with gaming and all that, is that if the music is good, the game has to be good as well.
Tell that to Sonic 06.
That's an exception.
But I mean, come on. Every single song from the Undertale soundtrack is memorable in some way or another.
I agree.
Specifically the boss fights and all that, but the entire soundtrack itself is awesome. There was no song in the soundtrack that I disliked, so I started to try out the game myself. And I got so invested into it so fast, I finished it in 2 days. It's just 6 hours one day, and then the next one I just played it until I finished it. I fell in love with it immediately. Since I finished it so fast as well, I didn't have spoilers or anything, so I got to enjoy the full experience of it. So it was very great.
Did you go pacifist and genocide, or what did you do?
Well, of course you have to complete the neutral route first, so that's what everyone goes.
Tell that to
that's
YouTube
where everyone
comments.
ends. And a friend of mine told me it had different endings, so then I started to try them out. Right the next day, like the third day, I did the pacifist route, and I avoided the genocide route for like a year because I didn't want to do it.
Oh, I think I know why.
Do you have that guilty presence?
Yeah, I grew emotionally attached with the characters, so I didn't want to hurt them in any way. So
yeah, no, that was not the
avoided...
case for me. I did a genocide run, and I was grinning ear to ear in the thumbnail.
No, dude, I didn't want to.
And you have that up, right? You have the video of you killing Sans?
Yes, I do have the video of me killing Sans. It's I did like a 3-part live stream for the genocide run, which I actually didn't finish. I bailed on it last second because I knew Kara was gonna destroy the game. I'm like, nah, Kara, you're not gonna get the pleasure. So then I reset, and like I didn't tell anybody I was gonna do that. So when I did it in the stream, everybody was like freaking out. They're like, "Oh, you trolled us," and I'm like, "Yep. You think I'm gonna complete that crap? Nah, I'm not screwing up the game for the rest of the time. No."
Screw you. Since I didn't get spoiled, I just kind of went through it and died. Now I can't ever have a happy ending again.
Which option did you choose? Erase or do not?
Do not, of course. So I got scared to death.
Ooh. Seeing people's reactions to that was great.
I know.
People who haven't played Undertale are not going to have any idea what we're talking about. So what are you all wasting your time for? You should be playing that game right now.
Like I said, it's a better time than ever to get into it.
That's definitely a game people have to go through if they're going to have fun. I mean, if you just want to have a good time, just play it.
Exactly.
It's just a really good game from beginning to end.
So now that we know how you got into Undertale, we can assume you've probably seen more than any of us the best and the worst this community has to offer, because you were such a big name. I think if I had to guess, I'd say you're probably the third biggest. Well, your AU is the third biggest, most popular out there. I would say the most popular would probably be Underfell, and then maybe Underswap, which I'm not.
I don't like any of those.
You don't? I like Underfell, but I don't like Underswap.
It's because I just like the story the way it is, and I fell in love with the characters for what they are. So basically, those other two AUs is just fan service, you know?
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from.
That's what it is. So they just modify the characters to please their own stereotypes of favorite characters. So I don't know. I don't find interest in it
I get
at
where you're
all.
coming from. I like it. Well, I like ones like Undertale because you can get like the same story but from a different perspective. So I always like looking at those different perspectives, seeing what people can come up with. Then there's like then there's the really creative ones like what was that? What was that
The
one's name?
the one thing I do like about all the AU stuff and whatnot is the science, because I'm gay for art, super gay for good art. So
Oh my god.
I mean, if you want to be creative with your design, please go ahead. I love some designs and all that. As for the rest of it, like story and all that, not really a fan of it.
Have you ever heard of GZ Tale?
Huh?
Yes, Ghost is amazing. I love her so much.
She's a really good.
Her
at what-
designs are absolutely insane. I love it.
All right, great. I'm not the only one here who knows about it. Yes.
Oh.
But as much good that came from the Undertale community, the explosive amount of popularity blew the game out of proportion. Like Five Nights at Freddy's suffered the exact same fate. It could
That's
not live up. It could not live up to the expectations some people were giving it. Some people were saying it's the best game ever made. It has like the best Christian message ever. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody gave a copy of the game to the Pope. That happened. Remember that? I don't know what the Pope thought of the game though. That's the thing.
That felt so uncomfortable.
The problem with any games is once they gain traction, of course they're going to attract the more toxic people into the community.
Exactly.
That's the unfortunate case with any game. The best game out there is the game that doesn't have a fandom, aka Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay, I feel like there might be some contradiction in that sentence, but I'm gonna let it slide. But he does have a point in saying like the bigger the game gets, the more of loudmouths you're gonna have, and people who go around saying, "Oh, best game ever," and that is eventually what breeds these hatedoms of people that they hear this about this game everywhere, and they just start hating on it for the fact that maybe it was blown out of proportion for them. They didn't get what they wanted from the game, or they think it's just it's not worthy of the position it has. Now that's all up to perspective, but when you blindly hate on something without even really giving it a shot, that's where the major problem lies.
That's essentially what Fortnite is right now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, I don't like Fortnite as a single player game. It's only fun to me when I have friends to play with. So
Like me.
Yeah, exactly. So it does come down to a matter of perspective, but your perspective has to be one that comes from an educated stance, shall we call it.
Like actually playing the game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why you should play Fortnite. Stop just blindly hating on it, get it.
And sometimes there are cases where hate will just come out of nowhere for no reason at all. This actually happened to me. I have a friend, we were playing video games one day, just hanging out, and we were talking about some of our favorite games. I'm just like, oh, I really like this Undertale game. And he's like, oh, I hate Undertale. And I was like, why?
Have you
Because
played
like
it?
it actually caught me by surprise a little bit, because he was a big fan of Earthbound, and I know Undertale has a lot of was inspired by Earthbound. So I'm like, why do you not like the game? And he never gave me a straight answer. He would dodge the question. He wouldn't give me any specific criticisms. Like the most I got out of him was like, you can tell that Toby Fox just thought he was hot shit while making the game. I'm like, what? Where is this coming from? What gave you that idea? He's just like, you can just tell. He would not give me a straight answer, and to this day, he still never gave me a straight answer. So that's just blind hate. If you
I
can't
know.
back up your reasons why you don't like something, then I'm not going to respect your opinion.
It goes the same with Five Nights at Freddy's too.
Exactly.
I'll admit, I was part of both the fandom and the hatedom for that community.
You mean Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes.
How so?
I was in the fandom at first of the half of the community that thinks, oh my god, this is the best, this is the scariest game ever, the lore, man. Then after, I believe it was around the third game, I was like, no, this game's terrible. Scott Cawthon is just pumping out the same shit for more money.
Oh, I see.
And do you still think that?
I'm at a neutral stance right now. I don't love the game, but I don't hate it either.
I still like the games. I still like the story they told. I like them. I know they were blown a little, they were over exaggerated in terms of their quality. I don't want to say quality, because they were decently put together games. He did try something new here and there, and I do like what he achieved in the end.
I do like the story. I like how there's not really any story on the surface, but the more you look into it, the more subtle hints you get, the deeper it gets. I like that aspect of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's one thing that actually helped that community grow, was people working together to try and find all the secrets. People went through like game files, patent data, all that kind of stuff to finally piece together what the story truly was. That kind of stuff. And Undertale had the same thing, and I really like that. I like people's theories on who Gaster was, what kind of person, maybe if Sans and Papyrus were actually Gaster's sons. I like looking into that kind of stuff. I find it interesting.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of stuff that can spawn AUs and fan stories such as Glitchtale.
Yay!
Tell us, actually, that's something I wanted to know. What inspired you to make Glitchtale? Where did you get the idea?
Oh boy.
Ooh, juicy story?
Okay, first, I just wanted to make an animation about it. When I really, 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 really like something, I just make art about it like crazy. So, I was so into Undertale, and it touched me so deeply, emotionally and all that I really wanted to make art for it. But not just art, so I just started to make animations. And I'm not the kind of animator that just does like, I don't know, just one animation, I don't know, just fight scene and whatever, and that's it. I like to usually think more deeper into it, like create a story or something with it. Of course, for the first one, I was just having fun. And after doing that one, I guess the idea came from the genocide route. Because it's so heart-wrenching when you're fighting Sans, right? Like, if you're really into the characters and really into the game, that fight is made for you to feel bad about it. So,
I thought I always if I can interject, I always saw that fight as like your punishment. Well,
yes.
Well, that's part of your punishment. I feel like the ultimate punishment in the end is Kara coming to life, saying, destroying the world. Like, Kara will never let you have a happy ending because you chose to commit such horrible crimes. That's what I feel like is the ultimate punishment in the end.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, like, Sansa's fight is made to make you feel bad for everything you did in the genocide route, and it makes you realize how horrible of a person you are. And if you're really invested in the characters as I was, you're gonna feel bad. And I felt bad. So suddenly, like, the thought came to my mind, like, I was just fighting, just having fun with the game, but feeling bad at the same time. Like, man, I wish I could, like, just go back in the last second on my actions and just restart it all over again. But not just, like, at the beginning of the fight or in the ending of it. Like, what if I somehow, I don't know, stop in the middle of my attack and something weird happens there? So, which is basically what I did in the first episode of the first season of the series. I wanted to make something different happen there in the end. Because it was always either ending in like, oh, I forgive you, I'm gonna resign, I'm gonna be happy. Or, oh, I'm gonna kill him and end the entire world. So I wanted to do something different. And that idea came up. It was just like stopping that in the middle of the last attack and somehow give it a happy ending. And then I thought, but that's not possible in the game, right? I mean, there's no way you can make that happen in the game. So wouldn't that cause like a bug in the game or like a glitch, something like that? And then I thought, then what will happen after that? Would it get worse? Would it get better? What would change? And then I just started to develop that idea. And since I wanted to continue with it because people seemed to like the first one, and at the moment I was not doing much. I was in summer vacations, didn't have anything to do. So I said, why not, right? So I just started to make a story with it, with that little idea of the glitches, and maybe by doing that I can achieve like a really happy ending at the pacifist route, like the one where you can actually get to save Asriel and even Gaster and other characters that didn't get a closure.
Just for you to kill them later.
Shh.
Spoiler alert.
What are you shushing me? What are you shushing me for? It happened in the videos.
Spoiler alert.
Do you have any idea what I felt when I first saw you murder Sans?
Oh.
I was like, yo, why would you do that to Sans? And then later I see you do it to Asriel, and that hurt me even more. This is where I gotta give you props. You really know how to play with people's emotions in these video series. I think that's why it's blown up to where it has, is because you make a really good story.
Okay, one point, the story, I make all the key points on my own, like, from start to finish, like, this person's gonna die, this person's gonna die, this person's gonna live, this is gonna be horrible for this. I have, like, the key points, but I usually get really confused on what's gonna happen in between the key points. So, for that, I go with Veer, who is my boyfriend at the moment. We just brainstorm about it until I get it sorted out. So, I don't remember which points exactly are the ones that he and I discuss about. Major key points, I'm the one who plans them, and he helps me sort out the rest. So it is a combined effort there about the story.
Interesting.
But I will take most of the credits for all the heart-wrenching parts of it.
Oh.
Because I remember, I don't want to talk about the last episode if you haven't seen it, or have you all?
I have seen it. Hack, I know you've seen it.
I have.
For the last episode, even he called me a monster for what he wanted to do there in the end.
for what you did to Frisk?
Yeah, even
you know what? I said this in my reaction to it. I don't think you're going to keep Frisk gone.
Nah, he's gone.
I think he's gonna come back in some way.
No, because then what would be the point of it? If I'm gonna kill someone and make it an emotional scene, why would I bring it back? It ruins the purpose of an emotional scene.
True, but I feel like the plot is going to have a giant hole in it if Frisk doesn't come back. I'm placing my bets that you're going to bring Frisk back in some way, whether they remember him or he comes back for like a quick scene, just like to tell Kara you can do it, emotional anime stuff style crap. I think he's gonna come back in some way.
Nah.
Okay. I guess we'll see.
Like when people were asking me like, "Oh, will Kara come back?" I never responded because I don't like to lie about that kind of things. I just like, I don't know, I leave a wink or something, but I never say yes or no, so I can just torture them with the question.
You like being cryptic.
I like being cryptic a lot.
So we may never know.
That's
I may
fun.
never give a straight up answer because that ruins the purpose of it, of course.
That's true. You never. That's one thing I can agree with.
Yeah,
never giving a straight up answer. But I can still have my conspiracy theories here. That's what makes it fun.
But you know what's more fun?
What?
Hiding what you look like on the internet.
Oh.
Like, you guys know how people are coming up with these crazy theories about who he is?
Yeah.
That's so much fun to do, and I think that's why I'll never actually do a face reveal.
I mean, I already know what you look like. Camila's already shown her face to her audience. And Hack, have you done a face cam?
Have I?
You don't even remember.
I don't know. Maybe I am how to basic.
Okay.
This is a crazy theory.
What?
Hack is how to basic. How could you hide the secret from us for so long?
I don't know. I mean, it's been years.
That would be an excellent mystery. Get it? It's how to basic likes eggs.
I see what you did there. Back on topic.
There was another thing I wanted to delve into. Hatedoms within the fandom itself. One prime example I can think of is like the shipping wars in Undertale. Now, me personally, I don't have a problem with shipping. If you wanna draw Sans and Frisk kissing, more power to ya. Just please make Frisk look like she's of age. I beg of you, or him, whatever. There's yaoi stuff out there. If that's your thing, you're more than welcome to it. But some people take it really, really, really too far. Have you guys ever heard this story of the needle cookie?
Yes, I've heard that.
What's that?
Oh, okay. So essentially, there was an artist who liked to draw sans extorial stuff, which no problem there. You know, it doesn't hurt me. Your art doesn't hurt me. I'm not going to be mentally scarred, or at least I'm not going to cry that I'm mentally scarred like some 5-year-olds on the internet do when they see that kind of stuff. But anyway, there was the artist went to a convention, and she met someone there who apparently liked her art. So the person offers the artist a cookie, and, you know, a cookie from a fan. Who wouldn't take that? Well, you shouldn't take it, kids. You shouldn't, because turns out the cookie was full of needles. They bite down immediately just for their tongue to get stabbed in several places.
What the?
And for those of you who don't know, that can cause serious bleeding. That can put someone's life in danger. So this person essentially threatened someone's life just because they did not like the sans extorial art. Now, people might say, "Oh my God, this fandom is horrible." I'm gonna throw a line out there and say this was not like a regular fan. This was a person with a mental disorder. No normal person would do this. This had to be like this person was mentally sick. But that's the thing. You get people like this, the bigger your project grows. You will get the crazies. You will get the people who hate you just because you don't think a certain way. So it can be a little scary at times. Have you ever dealt with anything even close to that, Camila?
Me? Well, of course I deal with hate every day. Who doesn't get kill yourself messages daily? Right?
Salt messages? Oh boy.
Gee.
I mean, look, at this point I don't really care, because I mean, if some toddler tells me, "Hey, I hate you," I'm not gonna give a crap. I mean, what's the kid gonna do aside from sending a message?
No, that's the thing. Kids on the internet are all talk.
But that's what I think it's the problem here. Every time I see something like, "Oh, did you hear what this fandom did?" It's not. I don't like it when they put like the fandom in the spotlight when it's the people, very specific people, like making things bad. Like, I think the problem with games like, for example, Five Nights at Freddy's and Undertale, they all got popular because the famous gaming YouTube channels were playing it, right? Mm-hmm. And we all know what the main audience of those channels are, right? Basically toddlers, children, freaking people in kindergarten with their iPads that barely know how to type. And sadly, those are the kind of people that are also super loud in terms of like comments and stuff like that. Usually teenagers or people of my age already don't comment much. And if they do, it's usually for something nice to say, or, you know, at least a legible comment. But it's usually children the ones causing the problems in every fandom.
That's true.
So they moved from Five Nights at Freddy's because everyone was playing it, so a lot of children got their attention. And then the same YouTubers started to play the other game, like Undertale, and then they started to play Cuphead, for example. So it's just the same group of children moving from one fandom to another and just doing whatever crap they want with it. Because they don't care about the game, they're just like, I mean, they're children. We all were stupid when we were children.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, I remember watching Sonic in the TV, you're like, "Oh yeah, I really like this character," and just, hop on YouTube and look for videos about it and comment gibberish on it. But that's what kids do. And sadly, now that freaking... I mean, I have two siblings, and they're like 5 and 6 years old. Both of them have their own cell phones, and they spend the entire day on YouTube. I'm pretty sure they're the same kind. They leave the same or similar comments that like not make sense and stuff like that. But that's the society we're living in right now.
Do you make sure to not let them watch Jake Paul and Logan Paul?
I do. I mean,
okay, all right. I just had to make sure you're a good big sister.
I'm from Chile, dude, and they don't speak English even. You don't understand. But I mean that's the thing. It's just a lot of children are having more control over what's being watched on YouTube. I mean that's why people like the Paul brothers have so much influence, because 80% of their fan base is just toddlers with a phone in their hands. You know.
Impressionable ones.
Basically, if you control the children, you control YouTube views, and sadly, those are the ones who are louder in a fandom, in any fandom. They're gonna be the ones causing problems. They're gonna be the ones doing really stupid stuff, and they love shipping. My God, it's just the more nonsense it makes, the better for them. And since they're children, they take it like it's the most important thing of their life. Like if this ship does not happen, in kind of like their life is gonna be over. And that's why we get all these stupid wars on the internet and people actually take it seriously. And with people, I mean little kids. Because I don't see some grown-up adult discussing unironically about it shipping between some two fictional characters in a video game. I don't really see that happening unless you have a mental condition. But that's usually not the case.
It's not really a matter of discussing it. I'd say it's more like freaking out about it, taking it way too far. Like, drawing a shipping art, like, say, Undyne and Alphys, like, that's more or less a canon ship. So, someone draws that, nobody really has a problem. But then, sometimes you get things like Sans X Papyrus, and it's like...
Well, when people go off canon to shipping, that's where the problem comes from. Pretty sure nobody has a problem with canon ships because... I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. But when people are just forcing a character into their view and they're like, nah, this character likes this one and you cannot convince me otherwise. That's when the problem starts because other people take it seriously.
That's true.
Me, personally, with fandoms, I mean, of course I've started off with Five Nights at Freddy's and Undertale and then etc., but later on down the road, things came to my mind to where I'm like, do I really have to hate communities from there on out forever? I mean, like, I really love Five Nights at Freddy's when Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer came out, and I really liked it, but then my friends started to hate it, and I was really confused. So then I had to join them that time because everyone else starts to hate it. Then it goes to Undertale, then it keeps going on more so often, and even when people keep saying, oh, this fandom did this fandom did that, it really bothered me now, because it's like no matter where I go, that the fandoms have that and that. Like hearing Ed's Road fandom, Undertale fandom, like, okay, I get it, but it makes me realize it really doesn't matter what fandoms you would really go to anymore. It all has the same thing, but in more of a higher or lower level.
That's a good point. Also, I've seen examples of people who will do extremely outlandish things just to get talked about in a certain community. Like, do you guys remember when the Rick and Morty stuff was going on and everybody was freaking
Yes, I remember
about Szechuan sauce?
Oh, no.
First off, I tried Szechuan sauce. It's not that good. So if anybody is still freaking out about it, please stop. You're wasting your time.
Are you talking about that guy who jumps on the table and says, "I'm Pickle Rick"?
Oh yeah. He's screaming from the top of his lungs, jumping on the table like, "I'm Pickle Rick!" And I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but there was a dude who sold his car for 1 pack of Szechuan sauce. One pack. You chose a 1 canister of dipping sauce. You dipped 10 chicken nuggets in there over your car. What you need to use to get to work. What you need to use to get to your college or your school. It's like,
at least you would get a lot of exercise.
It hurts. It really hurts when you can't understand what's going through these people's minds.
So the guy who actually did Pickle Rick, he did it as a joke. He did it as a satire of the whole community.
Yeah, but he knew it was gonna go viral. There's no doubt about it.
Well, he got what he wanted.
He got his 5 minutes of fame because nobody's talked about him since until now. But that's what happens. You know, they get one thing to run off and they'll go nuts. People just go crazy. They love jumping on bandwagons, good bandwagons, bad bandwagons. pretty much anything.
I mean, even the friends I've had, they usually hate on the one thing that's popular right now because it's popular. That's the only reasoning they have for hating something. If it's popular, then I don't like that. Because I don't know, that's the kind of mind they have. And it's not that they're bad people. I guess they're just
Are they
I don't know how to
just
say it.
hating for the sake of hating?
They are hating for the sake of hating, but they're not bad people. They're just confused. I don't know how to say it.
I think it's just like you're trying to stand out from the popular crowd. You don't want to be associated with the big names.
Yeah. I think
It's
attention
really, it's just
seeking.
I'll just say that to anybody who does that. Don't do that. It doesn't work. You don't stand out from the crowd. You just look like someone who's kind of being a little whiny, and you're not trying anything just for the sake of not trying it. There's no point. It doesn't make you look cool. It doesn't bring you up on the popularity scale. Just stop. If you genuinely don't like something, that's fine. But if you say you don't like it without trying it, without probably even knowing what it is, stop.
Well, me personally, I mean, to people, even if you are having a lot of expectations for gaining popularity, if you really want to know what your results are, you're gonna get a lot of bad people going to, even though they're like a fan of your work. Like, for me personally, I draw art, and ever since I got the popularity from a particular place or server, I get odd people going to me, and they just try to act like I'm their friend, or they would draw this for me and all that. That's something I don't really like.
Yeah,
I'm not even that relevant, and I get that.
Exactly.
And it's something I really don't appreciate, because I realize this is what happens when you gain some popularity over things to a specific community, or any community at all. It just gets to a really awkward reward. Like, for example, well, actually, I can't say the example here because I don't want to mention anyone in particular.
Just use code names like Person 1 and Person 2.
But like, who likes fan art, right?
Oh, I love
like
fan art. I look at Undertale fan art every day. No shame.
Okay. People have made fan art for me. I really love them. I don't care what style it goes for. I really love them. But however, if you're going on a case where you're making too much fan art, that's where it kind of makes me uncomfortable. And lately, it kind of creeps me off because there's like random people that are following me, and few people even creeped me out or so. Because one person actually reposted my artwork to their social media, and I'm like, take it down. And after they take it down, I immediately block them. Also, people, please do not follow the person you are trying to go for, even if they block you. If you're going for the person to who they block you, you're not gonna go. That's kind of like harassment to me.
Sounds a little stalkerish.
Yeah, like one person apparently. Here's how it goes down. I have told it to GameCubeDude and Nomad, but I'm gonna say it here. This person's probably gonna watch this, but I have to say it here now. One day, I was roaming around Discord, and it was really nice. Then there was a person who keeps sending me friend requests, and I decided to ignore it. However, they kept sending me more constant friend requests, so I decided to block them. Then, at a server, they actually shit talk about me. I'm like, okay then. So I ignore them. So I was doing a live stream on my channel, just doing random art, blah blah blah. Then they tried apologizing to me with their alternative account in YouTube, because I actually blocked their main account before they could do anything. But do you want to know what they did?
What?
They donated $1 to apologize. That ended up being my first fucking donation.
Oh no.
And that's like the first time I opened up donations. I'm like, oh my fucking god, are you kidding me?
A whole
and, like,
dollar. No, I get that. I get that. Like, seeing the first donation ever come up on like Twitch or YouTube or something, it is quite an experience. I'll say that much.
But my experience is that the person tried apologizing by donating $1. $1. You okay? If it's worthy enough to donate something for apologizing, he could have donated more, because that is not going to bring me to forgive you.
Yeah, it's like I shit talked to you in a Discord server for hours. Here's $1 to apologize. Like, no, that doesn't
And
work.
guess what? That was the same day. Literally the same day.
Wow, no, he was not sorry. There's no way he was truly sorry.
And do you wanna know what's the thing?
What?
Okay, like I know it's gonna bring up one person because they might watch this, but I'm still gonna bring it up. Is it okay if I
Sure.
bring it up?
Sure,
Okay.
just use a code name like person J for jackass.
I'm still gonna call him person. But here's the thing, I was roaming around the server, and this person apparently did 24/7 live streams before, and I realized that he's actually getting ad revenue off it, and I'm not gonna let him get away with it. So I kind of exposed him, like, hey dude, that's bullshit, you shouldn't do that. And then he's like, oh no, I gave my stream key to my cousin, yeah. I'm like, I call bullshit. You literally have a fucking watermark saying, oh, special thanks to the sponsoring of me person. I'm like, and so then like I decided to go on to the person. I'm like, dude, that is seriously bullshit. And then more people started joining it to my side, and that person decided to become offline, and he goes to the rant channel saying, oh guys, oh I'm a terrible person, oh I'm gonna go bye. And I'm like, oh my god.
Wow.
And what happens later on is that, well, even before, he did try following me on every social media, but then recently he tried following me on social media again, and he even uses alternative accounts, and that's why I feel it's more of a harassment to me. And now, I think the worst part that happened to the Mugs and Mike's channel, and me and Nomad, and even GameCubeDude and Zeke, we got sub-botted.
Yeah.
We got sub-botted by that person's friend. Now, I know that person didn't do it, but because it's their friend, and they're the one, their person's friend thought we were their friend. I'm like, okay, no, not in my entire fucking life.
Exactly. It's like you wanna make up for what you've done, so you decide to throw sub bots at our channel. You throw 80 sub bots at our freaking channel. No, that just made it worse, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, that person isn't even 13.
Oh my god.
That the person who keeps following me everywhere, who donates $1. My god, what is this?
It's like it's the only thing that it seems like the only thing that matters to kids is like numbers, like how many subs or how much money you can give to someone. What really matters is integrity. That's what you should be focusing on.
Children usually are seeking a lot of attention everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if your parents don't give it to you, you gotta look for it in the internet. And, like, they have so many means to get attention nowadays because of all the social media being at their disposal every time, all the time. So it's very easy for kids to cause havoc like that. I mean, not even surprised the guy was, like, less than 13. I mean,
yeah,
for all the crazy crap you're describing, I was imagining already was a kid.
Well, back in the days when YouTube was still newish, people did it for fun. They didn't do it to get views. They didn't do it to be popular, and I don't think monetization was even a thing back then. They did it. They did it for the enjoyment of doing it, and that's why I did it. Back on my old cringy channel.
All like the corruption and stuff in YouTube started when monetization became a thing. Once money is thrown into the mix, you will see corruption. You will see desperation. You will see attempts to grab any views you can.
Commentary channels.
oh my god.
And also, bad things also happen when you don't regulate this market. Come on, YouTube. Well, I'll give YouTube one thing. They've started to enforce their rules. But before that, it was anarchy. Anyone could monetize anything.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how many subs, didn't matter how many views.
That's what led to like the whole adpocalypse and the demonetization debacle. Were you ever affected by that, Camila?
The apocalypse?
Like either the demonetization stuff or the adpocalypse.
I wouldn't say really affected, because if it has been very, very minimal.
Have you had any videos that were demonetized?
My speed paints sometimes.
Oh no.
Like when I upload them, it's just a speed painting. I just draw something and uploaded it, and like the yellow icon is there. Like, oh, this might not be content, family content.
I guess YouTube doesn't like the need of looking at how construction works on a person in speed paints.
I don't know.
No, but filming a dead body, that's perfectly
Of course.
monetizable.
Yeah,
In fact, let's put that on trending.
Oh my god, I still can't believe someone was stupid enough to make that happen.
Of course, I send like a manual claim, so they can like manually review it and make sure that, like, this is actually friendly. I'm not posting any dead bodies in this video, and then they get it back to normal. But that's all there is for me, at least. I'm not a very controversial channel, I just draw.
No, you're lucky. You stay out of the drama stuff, and I envy you for
stay out
that.
of the drama completely.
I've been in drama in the past, and like I called out certain YouTubers for doing some scummy stuff, and it's in the end it just felt like it was a lot more work than it needed to be. So I try and stay out of drama, honestly.
I wish I could stay out of drama, but I think people just look to get drama.
Oh
with me,
yeah, no,
sadly.
that's a problem.
That's a thing. That's a thing. Drama gets views. That's why Drama Lurch is so big.
I know, but it's so complicated for me, because I hate being in drama, and people just look for anything I do or type to like get me in like the spotlight. And
Exactly. This is like the problem with like most of the commentary channels. They will go out of their way to try and create drama. They'll try and create situations out of pretty much nothing. And it sucks. It sucks to see people go this low just to try and gain some relevancy.
I know.
We've kind of veered off topic. Do you think, and it's getting very late into the episode, do you think we could go back to Undertale for a little bit?
Sure.
So, what people should always do is separate the fandoms from the game itself.
That's what I always tell people.
Okay, in certain scenarios, like my experiences in Overwatch I was talking about, yes, fandoms can ruin the gaming experience, but in a game like Undertale, no, not really. Like, if you're streaming it, making Let's Plays of it, yes, it can ruin it. But if you're just playing through the game on your own, no outside influence, then
yes,
it's a good
I would
game.
recommend everyone play Undertale. You don't even have to like look into the lore. You don't have to do anything like that. If you just play the game for yourself, you'll still have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? There's one juicy piece of irony that I have to mention here regarding the Undertale fandom. These people, some of them take things a little too far. They'll threaten people, they'll attack people who they disagree with. And it's just kind of ironic because the entire point Undertale is built on the concept of friendship and being kind. They're not exactly doing a good job of representing their favorite game.
Oh, I can assure you, the people that cause more problems haven't even played the game. At best, they've probably seen someone playing it, but they have not experienced it themselves. So they could not care less about the game at all. Pretty sure of that.
And most of those people are gone now. They've moved on to other things, so now's a good time to join the community. Most of the people that genuinely like the game are still around and still doing stuff like drawing fan art, making
Keeping it
animations, talking about the lore, discussing it.
Doing my best to keep it alive.
Yeah, no, I like people who try and keep it alive.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I don't think people will say, like, oh, this game is dead, this game is dead. No, it's not. I don't think games ever truly die because they'll always have a following. They'll always have people who enjoyed it for what it is. There will always be new people to come in and play it. Even though these games are not at their prime, they're not talked about in the mainstream as much anymore, there will still always be people who come and enjoy them.
Except for Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh my.
Even if a game is dead, whatever thing, why does it matter? I mean, if you're enjoying yourself, go ahead, right?
Exactly.
Why should it matter if it's alive or not? If you're having a good time, you do you.
Amen.
There will never be just one person be in the fandom. Never.
True.
Never, ever.
Well, anyway, I think we had a great discussion here. So, fandoms and hatedoms, everybody. The conflict as old as time itself. The always ¡1 spot on any top 10 anime battles video. It will be a topic that will be talked about for the rest of time. But you know what? I have faith that one day the human race will evolve beyond some unsavory types of behavior. So, I would like to thank Camila for joining us for this episode.
Yay.
Well, she feels like she wasted her time. Camila, would you like to plug in your Twitter, your YouTube?
I'm having a good time.
Well, I'm glad we weren't that boring for you. Would you like to tell the people where they can find you?
Me?
Yes, like YouTube or Twitter, or I think you have a Tumblr.
YouTube's fine, because in the description of my YouTube videos, I just leave everything else.
Okay then. Hack, where can the people find you?
You guys can follow me on either YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Yes, I have that. And eventually I might upload content soon on YouTube. Hopefully they will be great.
Nomad, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at NomadicBox87, or you can follow me on one of my 2 YouTube channels. My main one, I'm Nomadic, and my other channel, Nomad. I got some things planned for both of those channels, and I already got a video almost completely planned out for the main channel, so expect that within the next week, I'd say.
Since when did you have a second channel?
Since the subbotting happened.
Ah, okay. And I am your main host for this episode. My name is GameCubeDude. You can find me on Twitter at GameCubeDude100. You can find me most actively on my gaming channel, GameCubeDude200. Links are in the description below. Thank all 3 of you for joining me on this episode. Well, I mean, you 2 are kind of required to come here, but Camila, thank you once again for coming on as a guest.
Yay.
Okay, and I guess we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!
Bye.
Later.
Bye.